everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my Sephora sale recommendations. I love these videos. These are some of my favorite videos to watch, only because I'm always curious what everybody else buys, what they like from Sephora. Who doesn't love taking advantage of a sale? So in this video, I'm not only going to share with you guys my Sephora sale recommendations, I'm also going to be sharing what I'm going to be buying. But also, I'm going to give you guys a few tips on how to not go so buck wild during a sale, because there's going to be tons of sales coming up, and I think it's important for us to kind of, sometimes dial it back a little bit and make sure that we're buying what we need and maybe just a few things that we want. You know what I mean? In this video, I'm also collaborating with my friend, Lisa Billson. She's a new creator here on YouTube, and I am so excited to share her with you guys because she's just such a beautiful person inside and out. She just started her channel just about a month ago, and she's done so well, and she's such a beautiful person, and I am so excited to share her with you guys because number one, she does beautiful makeup, and number two, she's very, very honest. And I always think it's important to support other creators here on this platform, and especially those who are just starting out. And I just think Lisa is just an amazing person, and she has such a bright future here on YouTube, and I am so excited to share her with you guys. So definitely show her some love and check out her other videos. I do not think you'll be disappointed. She's just amazing. I will leave all of her information in the description box down below for you guys, and let her know that you're from my family. But you guys, she is amazing and she deserves a lot of love. So let me give you guys a little bit of tips on how to not go so crazy when it comes to sales. I know it gets kind of crazy because you think, oh, I get 20% off of this, and we all wait for these sales, right? There's a lot of people, every time I'm reviewing something, somebody will say, oh, I want to get this, but I'm going to wait for the Sephora sale. That's just kind of how it happens, which I don't blame you. Why not? If you can wait. Here are a few tips that I like to do. So I like to take two lists. I have a list of the things that I need and a list of the things that I want. Obviously, skincare is probably the time that I take advantage of the sales the most. Skincare is more important to me than makeup. So I just stocked up during the Tatcha 20% off sale, so I'm good on skincare for a minute, but I always take advantage of sales when it comes to skincare. I do know that Macy's is going to have a new sale coming up. Nordstrom's will have their sale. Plenty of other places will be having tons of sales going on right now. So don't feel overwhelmed or feel like that you're going to be missing out. The sale starts tomorrow, as you guys know, on November 1st. I'm going to put all the details right here on the screen. And just so you guys can have that, I will also leave it in the description box down below. When I create those lists of what I want and what I need, I check it several times before I actually make the decision to buy them, because I think it's very, very important to make sure that you're not impulse buying during these sales. So the list, I highly recommend it. The first thing I'm going to talk about is this holiday set from Olaplex. Now, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Olaplex. Olaplex has completely changed my hair for the better. I started using it, I would say probably about a year now, and I'm obsessed. So this is the holiday hair fix set. You get 4 products for $58. Now, I bought the set. It's a great deal, but I also wanted to point out to you guys, the shampoo and conditioner are not the full size. These are the full size bottles. These are 8.5 fluid ounces, 250 mils. I think these retail for like $28. Let me say this before I continue. Olaplex is very concentrated. So you only need, when I'm washing my hair, which I have, pretty long hair, I only use about this much because it is so concentrated. You don't need to use a lot of this. The ones that come in the set are the smaller size. These are the mini sizes. And so I just want to show you guys the difference in size here. So this is what the set comes with. So you get the shampoo, the conditioner, you get the number 3, which this is kind of like the deep conditioner, if you will, is kind of how I describe it. It's the repair and the strengthening product. But run your hair under water and just kind of dampen the hair. And then you put this on for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then you go ahead and wash. So you get this, and you also get the Bond Smoother. Now this is the older one that I've had. I haven't opened up the new one that came in the kit, but this is the size that it is. And the Bond Smoother is like a leave-in styling cream. Again, very concentrated. When you're using these products, you only need a little bit, because if you're using more than a little bit, you're using too much. But this set retails for $58, which in my opinion is a pretty good deal. I think this is a good set for a gift, but I also feel like it's a great deal for those of you who have never bought Olaplex. This will give you a chance to try it out and use the products for yourself and see if you actually like them. Next thing I want to talk about is this. So this is the Beauty Blender Cleanser, and this is the solid. I bought this recently. So my friend Mel Thompson, I had asked her probably about a month ago, hey, what do you use to clean your expensive brushes? Because you guys know I have been investing in the Sonia G brushes. She told me that she cleans her brushes and her sponges with this. I am obsessed with this cleanser. I can see why she uses it. This is the big solid, and I love it. Not only does it get my brushes spotless, but it doesn't take that much. So I don't feel like I'm using too much of it. Like, I feel like this solid's gonna last me a really long time because I'm not having to use a lot of it. And what a perfect time to pick up a product like this during the sale, because you know, I now have something that I feel like cleans my brushes without harming them. Yeah, I think they have a couple of different sizes, but picking one of these up to clean your brushes, especially during the sale, it's a perfect time to pick it up. So let's move on to foundation. There are two foundations that I have been picking up so much recently, and the one is the SHISEIDO Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. I love this foundation. It's so beautiful. But I also have been loving my Lancome Ultra Wear. This is such a good foundation. I am actually wearing it today. It's just one of those foundations that are just so dependable, and it's an oldie but a goodie. It has tons of different shades. I think if you have combo or oily skin, I still think this is a beautiful foundation for many skin types. Same with this one. I feel like if you have combo or oily, you might need to make sure that you really set it good, but because for me personally, I do have to wear a little bit more powder with this one than I do this one, but both of these foundations are so good, like absolutely amazing. And it's one of those that is kind of perfect for the fall and winter time, but I would say they're just more like a natural finish, but both really good foundations. Like, I love them both. Now, of course, I do have a few palettes here that I feel like, you know, are probably worth splurging on if you have not bought them. Now, again, palettes are subjective, and before you make the plunge and buy any palettes during the Sephora sale, I recommend taking a picture of all of your palettes. Lay them all out on the ground and take pictures of them, because I feel like we're kind of getting overloaded with palettes, and I feel like we're getting to that point where we're really starting to get very repetitive when it comes to palettes. So take pictures, keep them in a little album on your phone, and then when a new palette comes up, you can go through and look to see what palettes you already have, and just make sure you're not buying the same thing over and over and over. But with that said, if you're looking to buy a palette during the Sephora sale, these are the ones that I would recommend. Of course, I've been really loving the CARLI BYBEL palette from ANASTASIA. This is definitely not the color story that I reach for during the winter time, but it's a very beautiful palette. Here's the kicker though. The thing that I've had people ask me if I'm going to be getting the new Kkw Beauty one, and I'm not going to, only because I just don't feel like I need it. Number one, I don't wear pastel shades a lot, but number two, I have the new nudes palette from Huda, and I have this palette, and I feel like with those two combined, I kind of feel like, again, I don't know that I need that palette in my collection, so I'm going to pass on that palette. But if you like those pastel shades, this is a very beautiful option. Of course, it's always a really good time to pick up a you know, Pat McGrath or a Natasha Denona palette that you've possibly had your eye on. This one is the number 6. I personally like the number 6 more so than the number 5, only because I don't really wear those like duochrome shades as much, and for me this is more of an everyday palette. I feel like Mothership 5 is a little bit more of those duochromes, a little bit more, you know, popping on the eye. So depending on what you like, you know, obviously it's a really good time to pick up any Pat McGrath or any Natasha Denona during the sale. This one is the one that kind of shocked me. This is the one I was not planning on getting, and it took me a couple weeks to get it. But my friend Teresa's dad kept pushing me, Tara, you need this palette. You are going to freaking love this palette. You're gonna love it. And I always, she and I are always in tune when it comes to what I like, she likes, what she doesn't like, I don't like. We're kind of always on the same page. But this palette blew my marbles. Number one, I don't feel like I reach for gold tones all that much. So I kind of felt like I didn't need this. But I did need it at the end of the day because I really don't have a lot of gold shades in my collection. I went through my palettes and I'm like, I don't really have a lot of gold, so why not grab it? So I grabbed it. I love this palette. I'm wearing it right now. It is such an easy palette to pull out and create so many different beautiful looks with. Like for example, I put this shade right here, the second one onto the end. I used that shade on my lid today and it just melted onto the lid. Like I didn't need to wet the brush. It just applied so beautifully and so easy. Like definitely one of the best naked palettes that I've used from Urban Decay, but also just a good palette. Like shocked me how good this palette is. Absolutely love it. It's just so good. Like I can't recommend that palette enough. Of course, the other two are going to be from Charlotte Tilbury just because, I mean, duh. I've been loving this. This is the Instant Look in a palette. I've really enjoyed this palette and it's a great time to pick it up during the sale. I really do like this palette. It is a good palette. I'm surprised how much I like this palette. I'm going to be honest with you because I really didn't think I was going to love it like I do, but this is a palette that I have just really enjoyed since I reviewed it. I've used it a few times and I love every look that I've created with it. I love how easy it is and it's a good palette. I have to recommend it. It's a good one. The other one is the Starry Eyes to Hypnotize. Now, as you guys know, I've had this palette for about 6, 7, 8 weeks now. I don't know. It's been a minute since I bought this. So I have had plenty of time to play with it and I like this palette. I really do. I think it's a great palette, especially if you are a Charlotte Tilbury fan. It's really good. Do I feel like these are necessary? None of these palettes are necessary. Again, you know, take pictures, make sure that these are palettes that you need in your collection. Maybe you don't have a lot of those tones and it's something that you could use. You know, I would definitely do that before I would buy any palettes because I just feel like we're just kind of on palette overload. Probably the same thing with foundation. This is also from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Magic Vanish. And I love this. And I honestly feel like this is one of those products that I'm not going to have to replace very often. I feel like this little teeny pan is going to last me a really long time because I only need this much to do both my eyes. So what I like to do is I like to take my finger into them and I rub my fingers together and then dot it underneath my eyes. I love the way that this erases my dark circles. Like it just completely eliminates my dark circles. And I love it. I think it's really good. If you have dark circles, this will be like your holy grail because you can go right on top of it with any concealer. I've used this with several concealers. And you can go over top of it. I don't really like wearing it alone because shade number 2 is like a peachy tone. On my skin tone, you can see the peachy tone and I don't really like it. So I do have to go over top of it with a concealer. But it is one of the best dark circle erasers I've ever used. It's fantastic. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, let's move on to lips. This is the Hot Lips 2 collection from Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm actually going to be picking up 2 shades. I think I'm going to be picking up JK Magic. So I got the little 3 sets, the little 3 mini sets, which I do not recommend. They're $25 for the 3 of them. And they are not worth it, you guys. They are not worth it. Not even a little bit. But it did give me an opportunity to kind of try the shade JK Magic and, you know, try it out before I bought it. I'm personally living for my new ones from Mel Thompson and Christian Audet. I know you can't buy that at Sephora, so why the hell are you talking about it? Just because they're so good. I love them. Mel did such a good job. The lip liners are like budge proof. You guys, they last for hours. They don't budge. Okay, we're moving on. The other product I want to talk about is the Hourglass Blush Palette. I have been reaching for this constantly, you guys. This is a good blush palette. Now I've had people ask me, well, how do you use it? Because if you go in directly like this, you are going to get other shades. Like, meaning if you go directly in like this with your brush, you're going to pick up shades that are around it. I don't do that. I go to the side, and that's how I eliminate having them all together. So right now, today, I'm wearing these two shades, and all I did was just kind of run the brush between the two. But if you don't want to go in between the two shades and you just want one shade, go to the side of the palette. So go this way or go, you know, this way. You guys know that I love my Incandescent Electra blush. This is actually the blush that I bought during a Sephora sale, and I regret not getting it sooner because I love it that much. It's just, oh, you guys, it's so good. But this to me is a better deal because you do get the 4 shades. You get more in this than you do this, but not necessarily, because the blush palette is like 4 minis combined into one. And you're actually getting a really good deal by buying it this way versus buying all 4 minis separately, or as like the pricing of Hourglass. I love all of 4 of those shades. I think they're beautiful on the skin. The other one is obviously the Hourglass Ghost palette. This I really do like. Let me just say that. I like this one. For me personally, I feel like the Edit Unlocked palette, this one, the gold one, from last year, I feel like this one matches my skin tone a little bit better. By the way, this palette is available on November 1st on the Hourglass website. They went ahead and repackaged it, so it's not going to be in the gold packaging. It's going to be in the new Ghost packaging, but it's going to be the same colors. And personally, this is just my personal opinion, I feel like the Ghost palette goes really good with like a lighter to medium skin tone. I feel like all of these shades just go beautifully on that skin tone, especially all of these powders up here on the top, like the strobe powders. Like the highlighter has like a pink undertone. For some reason, I always feel like a pink undertone highlighter looks better on like a light to medium skin, like a light to medium skin tone. For me personally, I like the Unlocked more so than the Ghost on my skin tone because I feel like these shades match my skin better. But, you know, depending on your skin tone, depending on what you like, during the Sephora sale is a great time to take advantage and pick up the Ghost palette. But if you have a medium skin tone, it might be worth splurging a little bit more and getting this palette on the Hourglass website. Order from Blue Mercury many times, and they offer overnight shipping. And if you're a new customer, you can actually use the code WELCOME and get 10% off if you want to order this palette, because this palette will also be available on the Blue Mercury website, but you can also pick it up on the Hourglass website. I'm not sure if it's going to be sold at Sephora. It's just hard to say. You never know what Hourglass is going to do. So far, I haven't heard anything, but if that changes, I will definitely let you guys know. So I think depending on your skin tone, you know, you guys got to decide like which one you need. They're both really good palettes. So this brush is from Sephora. It is the number 80 brush. This is a Pro Contour Highlight Brush. It's actually on sale for like $15. During the sale, you can get it for even cheaper. I actually have 2 of them because I use one to apply my eyelid primer and one for my concealer. This is the best concealer brush I have ever used. I love this brush. Like I said, it's already on sale for $15, and then you can put the 20% on top of it. Such a good brush. I cannot recommend this brush enough for concealer. It's got kind of a point on it, but the way that it blends out concealer, it's just perfection. I'm obsessed with it. So I had to mention that in today's video. Okay, so let me get into what I'm going to be picking up during the sale. So during the sale is when I take advantage and get things that I've been wanting to pick up, but I kind of just push to the side. So I'm going to be restocking on my Hourglass Veil powder. You guys know I'm not big on wearing a lot of powders, but this powder is magic, and I love the way my skin looks when I wear this palette. It kind of tones down that shine, but doesn't leave me feeling dehydrated and dry. Like I have tried this Huda Beauty powder so many times, and I cannot make this work because this is very matte. Like, this looks kind of cakey and kind of gross on my skin. I just don't like it. But the Hourglass has never left me looking gross. It just always looks beautiful on my skin, and I love it. It's one of my favorites, so I'm going to stock up and get me another one of those. Obviously, I've got to stock up and get more of the Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder from Charlotte Tilbury, because if I didn't have this in my collection, I would die. It is my favorite. This is the powder that I will grab a brush with and just go right here and see how that just smoothed everything out. Oh, like I'm getting a little bit shiny. Oh, no worries. Just take that brush and go right over and you're good. Like, it is the best powder. If you have enlarged pores, I cannot recommend this powder more. It is gorgeous. Like, it will make your like pores and everything just kind of disappear completely. I'm also going to be restocking on my Dior. This is my Dior Show Maximizer 3D Triple Volume Plumping Lash Primer. That is a mouthful and a half. This is actually something that I have had for, I probably bought this maybe back in like February, March-ish, and I still have it. I use it pretty much every single day, but this just gives me such fuller lashes. When I put this on and then I go over top of it with mascara, like I get so much better of an application. I get thicker, fuller looking lashes. My lashes look more volumized, and the thing that I like about it is it doesn't get dried out and crusty like mascara, like traditional mascara. So this will last you much longer than mascara will. Like I said, I've probably had this since like February, March time, and I'm still using it. I still used it today, but I'm going to order me a backup because I do know that I'm getting low on it. It is very expensive for being a lash primer, but I've been using it every single day and I feel like it's lasted me a long time. And why not pick it up during the sale? It's kind of a perfect time. But this is a really, really good lash primer. I'm definitely going to be picking me up an extra. I am going to be getting another one of these. These are the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. I've got to pick me up another shade. I've been saying it forever and I'm going to do it. This has been one of my favorite products. It's a creamy shadow and I just go in with a brush and lightly paint it on my eyelids. It looks beautiful. It lasts all day. Now the trick with this is there are two tricks. Number one, you need to go in with an eyelid primer, like an eyeshadow base primer, and then go over top of it with any type of powder and kind of lock down your oils and then go in with this. Number two trick is don't go in too heavy. If you go in too heavy, it will crease. I've never had a problem with this creasing, but I kind of am very careful when I apply it. I don't go in too heavy with it, but I pretty much use this all summer long. I have it in the shade Rose Gold. So you guys have heard me talk about my Hourglass Scattered Lights. Okay, you guys know I love these. These are one of my favorites. I love the Charlotte Tilbury, but I also love the Hourglass. Charlotte Tilbury is cream, Hourglass isn't. If you don't have any scattered lights from Hourglass, get the 3. That kit is so worth it. All 3 of those shades are absolutely beautiful, but this is one of my favorite glitter toppers. Like the way that these are not overly shimmery, they're not like too much glitter on the eye. They're just absolutely beautiful. And the way that they apply and the way that they stay all day is like unbelievable. Like Hourglass nailed it with this formula. If you guys have not tried these, I cannot recommend that set of 3 more. They're so good. So what I currently have in my cart right now is the Patrick Ta Monochrome Moment Velvet Blush. I actually want this shade She's Sincere. That's the shade that I've picked. But I also was thinking about trying his Monochrome Moment Silky Cream Lip and She's Secure. Those 2 are also in my cart. I also have the 4 Glossy Lip Balm Set, the Glossy Posse Mini Gloss Balm Set for $42. I do want to try all 5 of those shades, so I'm going to try that set out. Oh, I got to get me another Lily Lashes Triple X mascara. This has been my ride or die mascara. I'm obsessed with this mascara. It gives my lashes just that thick volume and I love it. I think it's a good mascara. I haven't heard anybody really talk about it, but I love it. And I was so happy to hear that it was at Sephora because when I first bought it, I had to buy it from Lily Lashes. But now it's at Sephora. Yes, it is definitely in my cart. So yeah, that's it for my Sephora sale recommendations video and also the things that I'm going to be picking up. Let us know in the comments down below what you guys are going to be picking up. And I cannot wait to go and watch Lisa's video. Definitely check her out. I will leave a link to her video in the description box down below. And thank you, Lisa, for collaborating with me on this video. I am super excited and I'm so happy to share her with you guys because she is just a gem, you guys. She's just amazing. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for all the love that you show me and my channel. It means absolutely the world to me. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day filled with love and joy. I will see you guys in my next video, and I love you all so much. Bye!